Hello guys, welcome back. um Looking up here, I'm going to explain, or I'm going to looking at comments. Let me explain some things on comments. Now a comment is, when we talk about a comment, is simply just like you writing something, just like you commenting on something, like giving information about something. Now when it comes to programming, a comment is like writing something which, or writing a code or a sentence, which you yourself can understand. The computer must not be able to understand. Now actually when you write this particular thing, the computer knows it. Yes, you need some special characters in order to tell the computer that this is a comment. Meaning when the computer comes and reaches here, do not execute it, rather skip it. But you yourself as a programmer, you can see it, but somebody on the front end will not see what you wrote there. It means that it displays only to you who is using the editor to type. So I have a comment here. Now there are two ways of writing a comment: using the forward slash, then write a comment here, write the comments, or you can use forward slash, an asterisk, another asterisk, forward slash. Now you write your comments inside here. Write comment. Now inside comment, when it comes to comments, there are two types of comment. There's a single line comment and there's a multiple line comment. Now when we use this double quotes, this double forward slash here, that is a single line comment. Means that we can write only on this line where this double quotes is. If I write and I come down here, it is actually displaying normally. It means the computer comes and reaches here. If it doesn't understand this particular thing which you wrote here, it's going to display an error. So that's what a single line comment does. But now if it comes to a multiple line comment, means we can write on multiple lines. That is, we can write here and it's still going to be a comment. Say this is a multiple line comment. So that's what a multiple line comment does. So you remember we wrote here return. What simply does is it returns 0 at the end of this function. It returns a value of 0. And let's now look at what our next thing we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at syntax and semantics. So you may be asking yourself, what is syntax and what are semantics? Alright, now a syntax, as I said, is a language structure or grammar that allows humans to combine these C commands into a program that actually does something. So now we'll talk about syntax, or simply talking about the language structure. We'll talk about language structure is like a skeleton. You understand me? So we'll talk about language structure. Remember when we're writing our program here, we have to use a particular format. Started by importing, that is including some particular headers before going down to the main headers, to the main function before writing code inside. Now that's a structure. That's what I mean by a structure. That is like a format which you have to follow. Now on the other hand, we'll talk about semantics. We'll simply deal with vocabulary, like normal vocabulary in English simply has to do with your choice of words and actually a language power. That is the amount of words you know. So when we find us using vocabulary, in this case we are using particular English words which have a specific meaning. That is to combine English words which have a specific meaning here to produce something, or produce what we want. For example, when we're looking at semantics, I'll be doing things like main, that's a semantic main, int, which means integer, printf, that's a semantic return, that's a semantic, that is our vocabulary we're going to be using here. Now I had over here in my notice I'm having semicolons here. Now this semicolon simply tells us that this is a statement terminator. It means after writing this printf, we should end this particular process of you printing out this information, end this statement with a semicolon. Always end with a semicolon. In some other programming languages, semicolons are neglected. That is, in high level programming languages, you can have things like SQL, things like Python, no need for these semicolons. So we'll see this is a statement terminator. I can also drag this and bring this over here, and it has nothing to do with my program, because first of all I've already ended it here. So I can continue reading my next statement, which is that, and it ends. Now I want us to know something. C programming is very case sensitive. When we talk about case sensitive, something like, let's do a comment here. Main start with a capital letter is not equal to, that is, it's not equal to main with a small m. These are completely different things. Let me execute this program. Program run quiet. All right, process returned 0. That was it, returned 0. So now if I come here, instead of me writing main with a small m, I write a capital M. Let's execute it and see what happens. All right, undefined reference to win main. I have an error here which just tells us that this particular main is not known, so that's where the error is found. So when we talk about C is case sensitive, it means if a letter originally, if a function was originally made with small letters, it means when working with that particular function, you must maintain those small letters, or you must maintain as it was used. That is, if it was spelled in that way, use that same manner to do it. If not, the computer will not recognize it. It will rather recognize it as something different, a different kind of function which doesn't even exist altogether. So that's it. That's our introduction. We're going to be looking at how to grab information from a user in our next video. Thank you very much.